Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today, as you can see, we have this bucket that says danger of venomous reptiles. And if you listen really close, put your ear right up here, you'll hear a little sound. What we have in here is murder hornets. And what we're going to do for this video is we're going to open this up, and we're going to both get Kurt and I stung by murder hornets. And we're going to see how bad it is. You know, because we want to beat Cody Peterson to the punch. Actually, that dude's probably already been stung by some damn murder hornets. He gets bit and stung by everything for fun. I swear to God, it's not murder hornets. This is not murder hornets. But I will say this, Cody Peterson, if you happen to watch, if you want to take a really bad sting and report back, I will let you borrow this. Don't do it. Seriously, don't do it. All right, so we are going to show you what's in the bucket. It's an animal I've had for a little while. We need an update on. So before we do that, though, obviously by the sound, it is a rattlesnake. We'll quit playing around now. And like I always say, if you're going to do venomous stuff, you need to have your tools ready. I've got two separate hooks here. Kurt has a hook with him. And just in case shit goes really bad, I have a tongue over here. We are not going to free handle this. Free handling these things like this is why you get to do. See, if I free handle venomous snakes, now I get to do this really cool video to get a lot of views, where I'm laying in a hospital bed with shit all stabbed into me, like, oh, look. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So we're not going to free handle. But this will be the part that's free handling. I'm going to use my hands to take the lid off. We are going to get the snake out for you. A little bit of luck anyway. Put that over there. Now, this hook is because this is a smaller snake. So we are able to use a smaller hook with it. I think a smaller hook is easier to use. Oh, I gotta get a good, I don't like that hold. Come on. I like that hold. We're gonna set this one right here on the table. Try to keep it on there for you. They do tend to be runners. So what this is a little prairie rattlesnake. Now, why do we have this? This is a wild-caught rattlesnake. It came to us as a very, very, very young little baby. It took us a while to get it going, but it is feeding. It is doing well. Don't you fall off my table. It's handling itself well in captivity now. That's why we wanted to share it, kind of give you an update on it in case you remember the original video where we got it. The story on this little prairie is it came to us because it was in a house it shouldn't be in. So it was in somebody's basement. They obviously didn't want it there. They called a professional animal removal person. That was not me, okay? I don't do that. But they did. He didn't want to kill it, and he also knew I didn't have one, so he hit me up and said, hey, I got this. Do you want it? It's a baby. If I let it go, it's probably going to die. I said, bring it on over. Bring it on over. So he brought it to me, and that was Ethan Peterson with the Peterson snake removal. So this is a little prairie we got from him. So it is a wild-caught in Kansas snake. Now, these are not native to the area I live. They are a little bit west of here. So you do have to travel a bit to start getting into their territory, but they are a Kansas species. Are you gonna get quiet now? You're in a new environment? You gonna be cool? Be cool, man. Prairie bites, though, are very bad. And in my experience in working with rattlesnakes, prairies tend to be one of the more flighty rattlesnakes. So they don't tend to stay put as well. They don't, as you can see, it's really nervous in its movements. I'm trying not to be animated around it, because the less if there's a big warm blob moving, hopefully the more calm I can keep this. I'm also trying to keep my camera guy out of harm's way while keeping this thing on the table. Now, a snake this size is about the size where I start to feel comfortable doing a hook and tail with it. I can show you that. Come on. As you can see, we've got a good hook and tail hold there. So I do feel comfortable manipulating and handling the snake and picking it up as necessary. But this is about as close to free handling as we get. Come on, little one. But you can get an idea of the size it's grown. It is eating well. Everything is going well. You can see the last one we got that was given to us was a young snake on the road. And it looked like it had been hit by a car. This one's underneath belly is very good. Yeah, I see you. You're coming back towards my hand. Let's not do that too much. And that beeping you hear is actually its cage getting too cold because the door's open. But that is our little prairie rattlesnake. Kurt, any questions about this one?
Why do they call it a prairie rattlesnake?
Well, these things are often found in the prairies of Kansas along with other areas. It's not just a Kansas-only snake. They have a very wide region, pretty close related to your Mojaves and things like that. You can look at the pattern and color, although they're not nearly as toxic as the Mojave green. In the wild, they like to take over prairie dog holes. So you'll find them in prairie dog country and prairie dog holes. That's where they'll kind of hole up and live, and they'll feed at and kind of make their home. So that's where the name comes from, is by that behavior, I believe. But they are one of the smaller rattlesnakes, but they're not it's like a pygmy. You know, your massies, your pygmies, those are smaller than these. So when I say smaller, I'm comparing them to easterns, westerns, and timbers. They're going to come in smaller than those, but they're not, you know, they're not a giant snake. But they do get, I guess saying smaller is kind of not the right term, because they do get some pretty good size to them. They're not going to be as heavy bodied as a western or an eastern typically. And as you can see, their behavior tends to be a lot more mobile. Don't you fall off that table. And this is where having multiple tools can come in handy, because I want to, there you go, manipulate the head, and I don't want to use my hand. Now, my camera guy's probably like, what the hell? So since this one's starting to get a little bit flighty, we are going to put it back. I'm going to put it back in its bucket, not its cage, because I do want to service the cage fully while I have it out. There you go. So we'll just pick it up simply. And right in the bucket it goes, just like that. Then again, if your bucket has a zip tie on it, one way you can use that is just like that, keeping your hand safe, a little pressure down, never providing a gap for escape. Screw the lid on, and we're done. There's a prairie rattlesnake and some safe prairie rattlesnake handling with a wild-caught prairie. This thing's been in captivity a little less than, well, no, I shouldn't say a little less than a year, a lot less than a year. It came to us just as the world was getting too cold, so it would have been naturally looking for a place to go underground and stay warm through the cold season. It probably found that in a basement and wasn't going to get to keep that basement because the human wasn't willing to share, and that's why it would have likely died. So with a snake like this, I have two choices at this point. Choice one is I can keep it in captivity and I can enjoy it and, you know, and whatnot. And some people are going to feel like that's a bad choice. I respect your feelings on that. I don't really care about your feelings on that, but I do respect them. Number two is I could let this go back into the wild. I plan on keeping this one. Prairies are not endangered. They are plentiful out there. You know, they're not running out of them. And this is the only prairie that I have. So I do intend to keep the snake, watch it grow, and give it a good life here within our facility. Have it on display for people when they come over, etc., etc. Kind of like I do with my westerns. You know, and as we grow that venomous collection to include more rattlesnakes, especially rattlesnakes, because that's what I'm really good with. Maybe a rhino viper one day. Kurt would like us to get one of those, I know. So we might do that. But we'll, you know, definitely keep several things. There's a wild feral cat going on outside. Did you see that? Stalking his prey. All right, anything else you want to add, Kurt, before I get off of here?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We just wanted to update you, let you know that our little prairie, she's doing so good. She's growing up well, right? All right, guys, we'll catch you next time.